Most people think they know what a truck looks like on the inside. A seat, a steering wheel, maybe a decent infotainment screen if you bought the right trim level. But there is a category of truck builds that throws that entire assumption out the window. Machines where the cab has been extended, redesigned, or completely reimagined into something that looks less like a work vehicle and more like a rolling luxury apartment. We are talking full-size beds, kitchen setups, theater-quality entertainment systems, custom woodwork and leather that would embarrass a five-star hotel suite. These are the 10 biggest, most outrageous, most jaw-dropping sleeper truck builds ever put on four wheels. And by the time you get to number 1, you are going to have serious questions about your own life choices. Let's get into it. Before you write these off as pure excess with no connection to real truck ownership, stay with this for a moment. Because understanding what is possible when builders push the engineering limits of a full-size truck platform tells you a lot about the underlying capability of the trucks you actually drive. The chassis configurations, the powertrain choices, the structural modifications. All of it is grounded in the same engineering that makes your truck work every day. These builds take those foundations and push them further than most people imagined possible. Some of these started as production pickup trucks. Some started as commercial chassis. All of them ended up as something extraordinary. Here are the 10 most impressive sleeper truck builds ever documented, ranked by size, luxury, and the sheer audacity of what their builders accomplished.
Number 10. The Custom Crew Cab Expedition Rig. Start with a build that represents the entry point of this category. And even at number 10, it is going to reframe what you think a pickup truck can be. The Custom Crew Cab Expedition Rig is a class of build that has gained significant traction among serious overlanders and long-haul adventurers who want the capability of a heavy-duty pickup combined with living quarters that make extended off-grid travel genuinely comfortable rather than merely survivable. The most impressive examples of this build style start with a 1-ton crew cab chassis, typically a Ford F350 or F450 Super Duty, a Ram 3500, or a General Motors 3500, and extend the cab section rearward by anywhere from 24 to 48 inches through a professional body modification that integrates a sleeping and storage area directly behind the rear seat. What makes these builds remarkable is the engineering discipline required to add significant weight and structure to a cab without compromising the frame's torsional rigidity or the truck's crash safety performance. The best builders use the truck's existing B-pillar and C-pillar structures as anchor points for the extension, tying the new rear section into the frame at multiple points with gusseted steel connections that actually reinforce the cab rather than simply adding mass to it. Inside that extended section, you find a sleeping platform sized for a full-size adult, typically 6 feet or longer, with integrated storage underneath. A small electrical system running on dedicated lithium iron phosphate batteries charged by the alternator and a roof-mounted solar array, and climate control provided by a diesel-fired auxiliary heater that runs independently of the main engine. These rigs typically retain full truck capability, the four-wheel drive system, the towing package, the payload capacity, while adding a self-contained living space that allows the owner to travel for weeks without needing a hotel or a campsite with hookups. The total build cost on a well-executed example of this style runs from $30,000 to over $75,000 above the base truck cost, depending on the complexity of the systems, integration, and the quality of the interior finish. Number 9. The Baja-inspired long travel pre-runner sleeper. Moving up the scale brings us to a build category that combines extreme off-road performance with overnight capability in a way that sounds contradictory until you see one in person. The Baja-inspired long travel pre-runner sleeper takes a full-size pickup, most commonly a Toyota Tundra or a Ford F-150, given their proven performance in desert racing applications, and subjects it to a comprehensive suspension and body modification program that adds long travel coilover suspension with up to 24 inches of wheel travel, a trophy truck-style front suspension geometry, reinforced frame sections, and a fiberglass or carbon fiber body treatment that saves weight while adding visual drama. But what separates this from a standard pre-runner build is the addition of a custom rear cab section or a purpose-built cab-over sleeping area that gives the driver and co-driver a place to rest during multi-day desert events or extended off-road expeditions. The sleeping area in the best examples of this build is accessed through a roof hatch or a rear entry door. Features a custom mattress platform that is isolated from the truck's frame through rubber mounts to reduce the transmission of off-road vibration into the sleeping space, and is ventilated through a roof-mounted fan system that maintains airflow regardless of outside conditions. The powertrain in these builds is typically upgraded substantially. Supercharged V8 engines producing 400 to over 500 horsepower are common, paired with heavy-duty automatic transmissions that have been modified for the additional torque and the thermal demands of extended high-speed desert running. Fuel capacity is a primary concern in any long-distance desert build, and the most serious examples carry auxiliary fuel tanks that bring total fuel capacity to over 60 gallons. Enough range to cover several hundred miles of remote desert terrain without a fuel stop. Total build investment on a competitive spec Baja sleeper runs from $100,000 to over $250,000, placing these firmly in the category of dedicated passion projects rather than practical daily transportation. Number 8. The semi-inspired pickup sleeper conversion. Here is where the builds start getting genuinely unusual, and where the inspiration source becomes unmistakably clear. A small but dedicated community of custom builders has spent years figuring out how to bring the sleeper cab concept from the commercial trucking world, where over-the-road semi-trucks have featured integrated sleeping compartments for decades, down to the scale of a full-size pickup truck platform. The semi-inspired pickup sleeper conversion starts with either a heavy-duty pickup cab or, more commonly, a custom fabricated cab structure mounted on a commercial pickup or medium-duty truck chassis, and incorporates a sleeper section that sits directly behind the driver and passenger seats in the manner of a day cab-to-sleeper conversion on a commercial rig. The most thoughtfully executed examples of this build use the additional cab volume for a sleeping area that measures approximately 36 inches in width and 72 inches in length, enough for a full-size sleeping platform, combined with integrated overhead storage cabinets, reading lights, individual climate vents, and a privacy curtain that separates the sleeping area from the cab in the same way a commercial sleeper divides the bunk from the driver's compartment. What makes these builds particularly impressive from an engineering standpoint is the work required to maintain adequate headroom in the sleeping section while keeping the overall roofline low enough to remain within reasonable height limits for highway driving and standard parking structures. The best builders solve this problem through a combination of a raised roof section over the sleeper area, typically adding 8 to 12 inches of headroom above the stock roofline, and a lowered floor in the sleeping area that uses the space above the frame rails more efficiently than a standard cab floor layout. Powertrain choices in this category vary widely, but the most capable examples use medium-duty diesel engines, the 6.7-liter Power Stroke or Cummins YSB configurations, that provide the torque and reliability demanded by the additional weight of the extended cab structure. Number 7. The Overland camper truck with full kitchen integration. Moving further up the luxury scale brings us to a build that prioritizes livability over performance and delivers a level of interior comfort that genuinely rivals a Class B camper van while retaining the ground clearance, four-wheel drive capability, and towing capacity of a full-size heavy-duty pickup. The Overland camper truck with full kitchen. Integration is exactly what the name suggests. A pickup truck that has been modified to incorporate a complete kitchen galley, sleeping accommodations, and support systems into a single cohesive living space that is accessible from inside the cab without stepping outside the vehicle. The most sophisticated examples of this build category use a crew cab 1-ton pickup as the starting platform and add a custom truck camper that is permanently integrated into the bed and cab structure rather than being a removable slide-in unit. That permanent integration allows the builder to open the rear cab wall, creating a pass-through between the cab and the camper section, which is the feature that distinguishes a truly integrated build from a standard truck camper setup. Walk-through access means the driver can move from the cab to the kitchen, sleeping area, or bathroom without opening an exterior door, a significant advantage in bad weather and a fundamental quality of life improvement for extended travel. The kitchen in the best examples of this build includes a 2-burner propane cooktop, a 12-volt compressor refrigerator with a capacity of between 3 and 5 cubic feet, a stainless steel sink with a pressurized fresh water system fed from a tank holding between 15 and 30 gallons, and overhead cabinet storage finished in materials that would not look out of place in a high-end residential kitchen remodel. Total living space in a well-executed example adds between 50 and 80 square feet of usable interior volume to the truck. Not large by any residential standard, but remarkably functional when every inch has been designed with intentional purpose.
If content like this, showcasing what pickup trucks are truly capable of at the highest level of customization, is what you want more of, subscribe right now and join a community of truck enthusiasts who never settle for ordinary.
Number 6. The Race Team Support Truck Sleeper. Here is a build category that exists at the intersection of professional motorsport and extreme custom fabrication, and the examples that come out of this world are among the most purposefully engineered truck builds in existence. Race Team support trucks are built to serve as mobile command centers, parts warehouses, crew accommodation units, and mechanical workshops, all in a single vehicle that has to cover thousands of miles between events on a racing schedule that does not accommodate breakdowns or delays. The most impressive examples in this category start with a Ford F450 or F550 Super Duty chassis, or in some cases, a medium-duty commercial chassis in the Ford F650 or Ram 5500 range, and subject it to a complete body-off build process that replaces the factory cab and bed with a custom fabricated structure that integrates all of the required functions into a single purpose-built unit. The sleeping accommodations in a Race Team support truck are designed for multiple crew members, typically 2 to 4 individual bunk positions, and are built with the same attention to vibration isolation, ventilation, and temperature control that you would find in the crew quarters of a commercial vessel. Each bunk position has its own reading light, individual climate vent, USB charging ports, and a privacy curtain. Because race crews work on rotating schedules and need to sleep while others are awake and working in the same vehicle. The workshop section of these builds is particularly impressive. A fully equipped portable workshop with a hydraulic lift table, organized tool storage for hundreds of individual tools, parts bins with labeling systems, welding equipment, and in some cases a small lathe or milling machine for fabricating replacement parts in the field. Electrical systems in the most sophisticated examples run on a combination of high-capacity lithium batteries, a dedicated diesel generator, and shore power connection capability, providing enough electrical capacity to run power tools, lighting, climate control, and electronic diagnostic equipment simultaneously without depleting the truck's starting battery. Number 5. The Celebrity Custom Sleeper Build. This is where the financial scale of these builds shifts into a category that most truck owners will find genuinely staggering, and where the level of interior luxury moves from impressive to almost incomprehensible. Celebrity Custom. Sleeper builds occupy a unique space in the truck customization world because they combine the structural requirements of a serious road vehicle with the interior design standards of a private aircraft or a high-end yacht. The most documented examples in this category belong to country music artists, professional athletes, and entertainment industry figures who spend significant portions of the year traveling between venues and events and demand a travel experience that does not compromise their comfort or their preparation for performance. The exterior of a celebrity sleeper build typically starts with a heavy-duty crew cab pickup, most commonly a Ram 3500 or a Ford F250 in a high-trim configuration, and receives a complete custom body treatment including a bespoke paint finish that requires 40 to over 80 hours of preparation and application time alone. But the exterior, no matter how striking, is secondary to what is inside. Interior builds in this category feature hand-stitched full-grain leather seating surfaces, genuine wood trim panels sourced from specific tree species chosen for grain character and color, custom fabricated cabinetry built by furniture craftsmen rather than automotive trimmers, and lighting systems designed by professional interior designers using the same fixtures found in high-end residential construction. Sleeping areas in celebrity builds are not bunks. They are full-size beds with custom mattresses, premium bedding, adjustable firmness controls, and integrated entertainment systems that include retractable screens with theater-quality resolution. Audio systems in these builds routinely represent investments of $20,000 or more, designed and installed by custom audio specialists who treat the truck cab as an acoustic environment requiring the same engineering attention as a professional recording studio. Total investment in a fully executed celebrity-grade sleeper build typically falls between $150,000 and $400,000 above the base vehicle cost. The climate control systems in these builds deserve specific attention because they represent one of the most technically demanding aspects of the entire project. Maintaining a precise interior temperature and humidity level in a vehicle that transitions between a scorching summer parking lot in Nashville and a sub-zero arena loading dock in Minneapolis requires a climate engineering solution that goes well beyond anything a factory HVAC system can deliver. The most sophisticated celebrity builds use a combination of the factory climate system, a dedicated auxiliary diesel-fired heating and cooling unit that operates independently of the main engine, and a thermal insulation package applied to every interior surface, including the floor, ceiling, and all four walls, that achieves an insulation rating comparable to a well-built residential wall assembly. Window treatments in these builds are not just privacy curtains, they are multi-layer systems that combine blackout fabric, acoustic dampening material, and thermal insulation in a single panel that can be deployed in seconds to convert the sleeping area from a fully illuminated travel space to a completely dark, quiet, thermally isolated rest environment regardless of conditions outside. The electrical systems powering all of these luxury amenities are engineered with the same redundancy philosophy used in commercial aviation. Dual battery banks, automatic transfer switching between power sources, dedicated circuit protection for each major system, and a remote monitoring capability that allows the owner or their technical staff to verify the status of every electrical system from a smartphone application before boarding the vehicle. Security systems in celebrity builds go significantly beyond a standard vehicle alarm. The most comprehensive examples include biometric entry systems, interior and exterior camera arrays with remote viewing capability, GPS tracking with geofencing alerts, and in some cases, ballistic glass upgrades in the window positions most exposed to public access. The build process for a celebrity-grade sleeper truck typically spans between 6 months and 2 full years from initial design consultation to final delivery, a timeline that reflects the hundreds or thousands of individual fabrication, finishing, and systems integration hours required to produce a vehicle, where every visible surface and every operational system meets the client's standard without exception. Project management on a build of this complexity requires a dedicated coordinator who maintains communication between the chassis modifier, the interior fabricator, the audio and video specialist, the electrical systems engineer, the paint and body shop, and the client's personal team. Because the number of interdependent decisions that have to be made in the correct sequence to avoid costly rework is substantial enough that without centralized coordination, even experienced individual shops make expensive mistakes. What ultimately distinguishes the finest celebrity sleeper builds from merely expensive ones is not the cost of the materials. It is the coherence of the vision, the discipline of the execution, and the degree to which every element of the build serves both the functional requirements of a vehicle that covers 50,000 miles per year and the aesthetic standard of an owner for whom the truck is as much a statement of identity as it is a means of transportation. Number 4. The military-inspired tactical sleeper truck. Here is a build category that draws its inspiration from an entirely different direction, not from luxury or motorsport, but from the engineering discipline of military vehicle design, where reliability, self-sufficiency, and operational capability in extreme conditions are the only metrics that matter. Military-inspired tactical sleeper trucks represent some of the most mechanically sophisticated builds in the entire custom truck world because they are designed to operate in environments and under conditions where failure is not an inconvenience. It is a crisis. The foundation of the most serious builds in this category is typically a 1-ton or medium-duty truck chassis that has been comprehensively modified for maximum ground clearance, maximum payload, and maximum mechanical reliability. Suspension systems are rebuilt around military-spec components, portal axles that add significant ground clearance by placing the wheel hub above the axle center line, coil-over shock absorbers with remote reservoirs, and front and rear sway bar disconnects that allow the axles to articulate over obstacles that would high-center a standard truck. The cab and living quarters in a tactical sleeper build prioritize durability and functionality above aesthetic luxury. But the best examples achieve a level of purposeful design that is visually striking in its own right. Interior surfaces are covered in durable, cleanable materials rather than soft leather. Storage is maximized through military-style modular organization systems, MOLO, or modular lightweight load-carrying equipment, panels, locking drawers with positive retention hardware, and overhead storage nets that secure gear against the dynamic loads of serious off-road driving. The sleeping area is designed for rapid deployment, a flat platform that converts from seating to sleeping configuration in under 60 seconds, with blackout window coverings and a ventilation system that maintains air quality in sealed conditions. Self-sufficiency systems in these builds are extraordinary. Water purification capable of processing and storing 30 or more gallons of potable water from any freshwater source. Fuel storage capacity exceeding 80 gallons across primary and auxiliary tanks. Communications equipment including satellite uplink capability and medical supply storage integrated into accessible cabinet positions throughout the living area. Number 3. The custom semi-pickup hybrid sleeper. This build occupies a category that is genuinely difficult to classify because it is not quite a pickup truck and not quite a semi, but something that exists in the space between those two worlds and borrows the best engineering elements from both. The custom semi-pickup hybrid sleeper starts with either a purpose-built chassis derived from a commercial truck platform or, in the most ambitious examples, a completely custom fabricated frame that uses aircraft-grade steel tubing and computerized design software to achieve a structural performance target that no production chassis could match. The cab section of these builds is typically custom fabricated from scratch, not modified from an existing production cab, but designed and built as a complete unit by experienced fabricators who specialize in this type of work. That custom cab design freedom allows the builder to optimize interior dimensions in a way that is impossible when working within the constraints of a production truck's existing structure. Ceiling height in a custom fabricated cab can be designed to provide genuine standing room, 66 to 72 inches of interior height, which changes the character of the living space from a cleverly packaged compact unit to something that genuinely functions as a small room. The sleeping area in a semi-pickup hybrid sleeper is typically sized to accommodate a full-size or queen-size mattress, dimensions that would be completely impossible in any production pickup truck cab regardless of modification. That sleeping platform is supported by an air suspension isolation system, the same basic technology used in commercial semi-truck sleeper berths, that uses air bladders to decouple the mattress platform from the chassis vibration and road shock that would otherwise make sleeping while the truck is moving genuinely unpleasant. Entertainment systems, kitchen facilities, and bathroom accommodations in the top examples of this build category are specified and installed at a level that rivals a Class A motorhome, with the critical difference that the truck retains genuine off-road capability and a towing capacity that no motorhome can approach. Number 2. The Kenworth-inspired pickup, luxury hauler. Here is a build that has achieved legendary status in the custom truck world, a pickup-based platform that takes direct aesthetic and engineering inspiration from the classic American long-haul semi-truck tradition and translates that inspiration into a vehicle that operates within the dimensional and regulatory framework of a civilian road vehicle while delivering an interior experience that surpasses most commercial sleeper trucks in terms of luxury and finish quality. The Kenworth-inspired pickup luxury hauler is characterized externally by a long hood cab-over engine or conventional hood profile that references the proportions and visual language of classic American semi-trucks. Chrome stacks, a prominent hood ornament, a wide front bumper with integrated lighting, and a cab height that announces its presence on the road without apology. The powertrain in the most impressive examples of this build is not a pickup truck engine in any conventional sense. These builds commonly use heavy-duty diesel engines producing between 400 and 600 horsepower and over 1,000 foot-pounds of torque, mounted in chassis configurations that are engineered for the additional weight and power of a professional-grade towing machine. Inside, the living quarters reference the finest commercial sleeper builds and then exceed them. Custom leather upholstery covers every surface that a passenger contacts. The sleeping area features a full-size bed with a premium memory foam mattress, integrated reading lights, individual climate controls, and a flat-screen entertainment system. The cab itself, the driver's operating environment, is finished with the same attention to material quality and ergonomic detail as the sleeping quarters, with a custom instrument panel, billet aluminum controls, and a sound-deadening package that reduces interior noise levels to a degree that makes highway conversation effortless at any speed. These builds are not inexpensive. Total investment typically ranges from $250,000 to over $500,000, and the builders who produce them are craftsmen of the highest order, spending thousands of hours on a single vehicle that represents the absolute pinnacle of what the American custom truck tradition can produce. Number 1. The ultimate rolling mansion sleeper truck. This is the build that redefines what a truck can be. The single most impressive, most comprehensively realized, most jaw-dropping example of what happens when world-class fabrication talent, unlimited budget, and genuine engineering ambition are focused on a single vehicle. The ultimate rolling mansion sleeper truck is not a concept. It is not a one-off show vehicle that never turns a wheel in anger. It is a fully functional, road-legal, mechanically operational machine that has been documented in extensive detail and verified as capable of everything its builders claimed. The foundation of the most impressive build in this category is a completely custom-designed, fabricated ladder frame, a boxed steel chassis engineered from the ground up for this specific vehicle rather than adapted from any production platform. That frame is built to accommodate a diesel powertrain producing over 600 horsepower and 1,400 foot-pounds of torque, a full air suspension system with individually adjustable ride height at each corner, and a living module of a scale that would be structurally impossible on any production pickup truck frame. The exterior dimensions of this build exceed those of a standard full-size pickup truck significantly. Overall length approaches 30 feet, overall height reaches over 10 feet at the roofline of the living module, and the vehicle's gross weight, when fully loaded with fuel, water, and provisions, exceeds 26,000 pounds. Everything about the living quarters in this build is sized and finished at a level that has no parallel in the custom truck world. The master sleeping area features a genuine king-size bed, 76 inches wide by 80 inches long, on an air-isolated platform with custom fabricated cabinetry in figured walnut surrounding it on 3 sides. A full bathroom with a stand-up shower stall tiled in natural stone, a vessel sink, and heated floors occupies approximately 35 square feet adjacent to the sleeping area. The kitchen includes a 4-burner induction cooktop, a full-size residential-style refrigerator drawing power from the truck's massive lithium battery bank, a convection microwave, and cabinet and counter space that exceeds what most apartment kitchens provide. A separate lounge area with seating for 4 people, a commercial-grade audio and video system, and a retractable awning that deploys from the exterior wall to create an outdoor living space completes the accommodation suite. Support systems in this build are engineered to the same standard as the living quarters. A 300-gallon fresh water tank with an onboard filtration and pressure system, a 150-gallon diesel fuel capacity for the main engine, plus a separate supply for the onboard generator, a solar array producing over 3,000 watts of charging capacity, and a battery bank storing over 40 kilowatt-hours of usable energy. The total investment in this build, chassis fabrication, powertrain, systems integration, and interior finish, exceeds $1 million, and every dollar of it is visible in the finished product. This is not just the most impressive sleeper truck ever built. It is one of the most impressive custom vehicles of any category ever constructed, a testament to what American fabrication talent can accomplish when the brief is simply to build the best possible version of something, with no compromise and no ceiling on ambition.
10 builds, each one more impressive than the last. From the purposeful Expedition Crew Cab Extension at number 10 to the $1 million rolling mansion at number 1. What this list demonstrates is that the pickup truck platform is not a ceiling. It is a foundation. And in the hands of skilled builders with vision and engineering discipline, that foundation can support almost anything. The trucks you drive every day share their DNA with every vehicle on this list. The same chassis engineering principles, the same powertrain fundamentals, the same structural logic that makes your truck reliable and capable is what makes these extraordinary builds possible at the extreme end of the scale. That connection between the everyday and the extraordinary is what makes the truck community unlike any other automotive culture in the world. Here is the question for the comments. If budget was completely unlimited and you could build your own sleeper truck from scratch, what would the one must-have feature be? The thing you absolutely could not leave out. Drop it below. And if this video delivered something genuinely impressive for you today, subscribe so you do not miss a single video we put out. We cover the full range of truck culture every single week, from practical maintenance knowledge to the most outrageous builds on the planet. See you in the next one.